Greetings, everyone. Welcome to today's session, where that I always want to say good morning, but it's not necessarily morning for all of us. Already seen some comments in the chat, certainly from North America, and often have people with us also from other time zones, Asia, uh, Australia, etc. So, just pausing with that sense of welcoming across time zones, across this planet of ours, across situations and conditions that people find themselves in. Mm. Inviting all of us to this deep welcoming into this precious space together, space of practice, space of intention. And as always, I'm very glad to be here with you all. It's 9 a.m. where I am, just south of Tel Aviv, in this grieving, painful place on the planet these days, Palestine and Israel, where I am. And happy for the opportunity to come together in practice in this way. Some of you know me, some of you may not. I'm Zohar. I'm leading the sessions this week. I've been leading daily meditation sessions for quite some years now. And the session today will include, as always, time for a Dharma reflection followed by a half-hour meditation, and then time for some reflections together, which questions from you or reflections from you and responses from me, which is often I feel the richest ground, the richest part. I was reflecting this morning. I was driving back from dropping off Nathan, my partner, many of you know, at the airport as he's traveling back home to the UK. And as I was sitting in traffic on the way back, hoping not to be late for this session, which as you see, I'm not, I was really reflecting um, on our practice. Yeah. Just noticing someone mentioning in the chat they have no sound, and just checking that other people can hear me. Let let me know through the chat if you can hear. Just a thumbs up or a yes would be helpful. And if not, we'll do some troubleshooting. Yes. Okay. Okay. So, can someone put in the chat for um, whoever put the message in to refresh, to try and refresh their page? Great. Thanks, everyone. Such a multitude of kindness coming in. Yeah. And that's what part of what I was reflecting on this morning about our intentions when we come to practice, our intentions when we come to practice, when we come to these sessions, but to practice in general, and how much they are, around this gathering in kindness and compassion and wisdom and all these really beautiful and important qualities. And kind of sometimes, doing something like sitting in traffic on the road, really get a sense of how important that is. How important that is to both meet one's own experience with kindness and meet others with kindness. As they may be you know, having a difficult time potentially, and maybe also not behaving very generously themselves, which can happen in this morning rush hour. So really wanting to honor that in us and to explore that a little bit today in a particular way. The degree in which our practice is an act of kindness in the world, and how we can weave that in to this framework we were touching on yesterday. You know, that when there's an experience, it's made up of what we pay attention to and how. So, what happens when we bring an aspect of kindness, which is gentle curiosity? What happens when we bring gentle curiosity to our experience? That's kind of what I'd like us to see today in our practice. And when there's gentleness in experience, when there's curiosity in experience, it may be helpful to kind of like pull those two apart initially and then see how they come together. And see when there's interest and curiosity, um, that's actually an aspect of friendliness when it comes with gentleness, when it comes with kindness. Yeah. It's an aspect of kindness. Just like I often say, you know, when we're with a good friend, we have a sense they're interested in us. They're interested in us. They're interested in our lives. They're interested in what's happening for us. And we can bring that same quality into our experience. Kind of sense of listening with interest, with curiosity, which is also allowing. Yeah? So, kind of tying this into yesterday, you know, it's like this now, and then the curiosity in a gentle way, curiosity in a gentle way, and that brings less friction with experience and more sense of space, hopefully. We can also see, and I've already given some examples, that we can bring this gentle curiosity um, in all kinds of directions. So sometimes we might think, oh, we bring curiosity to particular experiences and not to other experiences. You know, might bring curiosity to something new. I might bring curiosity um, to someone who I already see as a friend. And then that possibility to expand that. We can bring gentleness and curiosity to ourselves. Yeah, another place we might not. Yeah, I know who I am. I know what I'm like. I know what my breath is like. I know what hearing is like, you know, so we can start to bring that gentleness and curiosity, that beginner's mind, to different aspects um, of our experience. And just like I was sharing now, you know, and it took some determination, you know, sitting in traffic, being, you know, feeling the anxiety come up about, am I going to make it on time to the session? And just that sense of I can bring curiosity in a gentle way to all of that, to the anxiety, to the intention to want to be here, to the others on the road, to myself feeling a little bit stressed and unhappy in there. Yeah. That possibility to bring that gentleness and curiosity. And when we do, something shifts. You know, there's more spaciousness, there's less friction, there's less problem in our experience. And so this is something we can cultivate. And, you know, if I just use again this experience of this morning, you know, taking determination to say, first of all, utilize what you know how to do, what you've been practicing for so much. Yeah? Utilize it now, use it in this moment, practice it because you know it's gonna bring more well-being and less ill-being to something that's not in your control. You can't control the number of cars on the road in this moment. Yeah? So we can utilize it in the moment and we can cultivate it as a skill, which is what we're doing when we utilize it. And of course, we begin with our formal meditation practice, which is what we're going to do now. Yeah? That sense of in, you know, when we cultivate, when we develop a particular way of relating to experience in our formal practice where conditions are relatively simple, yeah, still not easy, but relatively simple, then we can kind of have both the faith and the momentum to bring it into more and more situations. So today in the formal practice, we're really going to emphasize this gentle curiosity and attention. And I know, this is something I speak of and I teach a lot. So you may have heard me, um, on this before. There might even be some daily meditations which that with that same title. And then, yeah, can we still bring curiosity to this? Uh, Still bring curiosity to this. Um, Even a meditation instruction that maybe we know, even something we might feel we're pretty good at. Yeah. Can we, yeah, be interested? More and more layers of interest, remembering it's a way of relating to experience, and it can be really radically transformative in this movement from that which um, brings dukkha, brings ill being, to that which brings well being. That movement can be really radical with this. Um, yeah, yeah, being able to be curious in a gentle, non judgmental way about whatever and whomever we meet. Yeah. So hopefully we're getting some motivation and enthusiasm for practice. And yeah, if you're not already in your meditation posture, this is probably a good time to settle into it. And if you are in your meditation posture, a good time to settle more fully, more deeply. So making any adjustments that are needed to the posture, bringing gentle curiosity in already as we do this. How is the body right now? What's the posture like? Is it possible to make adjustments so that the body can feel more supported, so that the balance between uprightness and ease is more precise, more aligned? As we do this, awareness coming into the body more fully and deeply. Opening perhaps to the contact sensations, meeting them with interest, inviting awareness to rest and ground into the sensations of contact, noticing the impact of that. As the awareness gathers and collects, the contact sensations with the base of the body, tuning to that, encouraging the awareness to rest into that contact, feeling how the body both rests into the contact and is supported, aligned, invigorated by that contact, by that support. Opening to the whole body as you practice here. And then choosing the anchor for your attention. And like yesterday, that can be the breath, or that body awareness that we've just been practicing to ground and collect. Or if the body is not an available, safe place for your attention, you can use sound, hearing, metta practice for those who know it. So choosing the appropriate anchor for you. Being grounded in the body, through the body as you practice. Emphasizing gentle curiosity, inattention, as you open to the anchor that you've chosen, as you meet the breath or the sounds of the body, inattention with attention. Emphasizing gentle curiosity, light touch, interest in this breath as it unfolds, or in the body, or is in the soundscape, whatever the anchor is. Over and over, again and again, opening to it with gentleness, with interest. Let's continue in silence for a while, exploring this for yourself. In this moment, noticing what you notice. That gentleness and curiosity and attention, non-judgment. Opening to this unfolding moment of experience. What's here? As you acknowledge that it's like this now, bringing interest into the relating. If it's a distraction that you're seeing, meeting, interested in unhooking the attention. Curious as you guide it to the anchor that you've chosen. As you establish your attentiveness again with the breath or the sound, whatever you've chosen for this time. Curious of the process. If the moment you noticed is not a distraction, again, gentleness and curiosity and attention as you attend to it over and over again. What happens as we look this way again and again? At each and every moment of experience that we are alive to, let's keep exploring. Whatever is unfolding in this moment, gentle and curious, as you attend, as you open, as you meet, pausing with this moment of experience to bring gentleness and curiosity to it. Whatever is here, whether perceived as pleasant, as unpleasant, as nothing special, what happens when I'm interested and kind? Pausing to see, exploring, for as long as feels beneficial. Staying with this intention of curiosity as we deepen attention with the anchor we have chosen for this time. Again and again, curious and gentle with beginnings, middles and ends, noticing perhaps the habitual patterns of attention, letting them go as we incline to gentle curiosity over and over, again and again. Here, now, this. It's like this now, in this moment. What happens as we bring curiosity and gentleness to meet this, whatever it is, however it is. What happens as we over and over incline the mind to non-judgment, to gentleness, to interest and attention. How is the breath experienced? Or the sound? The last 5 minutes or so, really letting yourself prioritize, incline to this way of relating, noticing its impact, if any. Soaking in any relief, release, well-being that opens out. And when the bell rings, no rush, staying gentle and curious as you transition. So, as always, taking your time with the transition, and today, particularly, we can bring this gentle curiosity to it, noticing what happens as conditions change. In a moment, we'll open to questions, and a reminder if you'd like to ask a question or to share a reflection on the practice, anything I've said, anything that unfolded for you. You can do that via the chat. If you put question in capitals or reflection at the beginning, that really helps me to um, find those amongst the other comments that may be in the chat. Also, wanting to say a few words about dana practice, as I think we all know. And this is an opportunity, by the way, to bring gentle curiosity, because you hear something about dana practically every day here. And so there can be a sense of, I know that I can zone out. But, um, what happens if we bring curiosity and gentleness towards what happens internally and towards what is being said and towards the practice? It's a practice. Dana is a practice. The sense of what we've received, that these sessions are available, are possible, that teachers are turning up and sharing the Dharma and the practice. That can be a sense of curiosity around what happens with the receiving, curiosity about what happens around the giving. Both the giving of your presence here and the giving of dana. And just put it into the chat any financial contributions that you give, and if you follow that link, all the information will be there. Is shared between Sangha Live for the cost of of the platform and myself. Yeah. So let's see if there's any questions and reflections from any of you. And as we're waiting, sometimes it takes time for something to formulate or for the typing to happen. Just suggest, that you can bring the sense of gentle curiosity to your day. It may be interesting to kind of say, I'm going to do that around kind of neutral, uneventful things that happen in the day. Like, say, I'm here, my mum lives on the 10th floor. Every time I go in and out of the lift, I'm going to be gently curious about that. Or when I leave the house, or when I have a drink, and I can decide, these little moments in the day, they're going to become like mindfulness of opportunities, like practice opportunities. When I get in and out of a car, depending on your life conditions, you can pinpoint some of these. Every time I go to the toilet, that's something we all do. We can bring that in. Gentle curiosity to a particular experience that is recurring in the day. It can be really, really helpful to kind of just bring it in and see what the impact is. We're curious about what we're paying attention to, and then we're also curious about the impact of paying attention in this way. That's all part of our learning and our exploration there. So hopefully we could notice now in the guided practice as well that this is a beautiful practice. It brings a lot of joy, actually. And it is something we can cultivate and bring, whether we're meeting the difficult in our experience, whether we're meeting the joyful, whether we're meeting a lot of our lives which are kind of in between, not particularly beautiful or joyful, not particularly difficult and painful. So there's a lot of possibilities there. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share. I'll just take a moment, a minute or two, to see if anything else is coming from you. Can also be more general questions around the practice if there wasn't particular anything that came up here. I can also ask you, did you notice any well-being that came up as we practiced in this way, or anything else? There's a reflection there from Amit. Thank you. So useful to pair the gentleness part with the curiosity, When curiosity is called for on its own, it's easy for me to fall into a narrow judgment if I'm curious enough yet or not. Yeah. And normally the answer is no. We tend to judge ourselves. But the gentleness really helps dissolve this and open to many more possibilities. Thank you. Thank you for that, Amit. Really beautiful reflection to notice. Um, just how important that gentleness and that kindness is. Yes, that we don't get too narrow, and then immediately that inner measuring comes in. So that it's not enough, not good enough. Yeah. There's a question from Inez. As I use sound as anchor with curiosity, the underlying color can still be of disappointment or other negative sense. How to overcome that? So let's see if I understand, Inez. You're using sound as anchor and you're bringing curiosity to the sound, to the hearing, but there's a sense that the overall color in the mind is still of disappointment or another negative sense. Is that about kind of your own experience, or is that actually what's coloring attention? Like there's still a negativity in the attention. Sorry, I didn't ask you a very good question. Is it that the negativity is still coloring attention? Okay, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting to see. And I wonder a few things with that. One is coming more into the body as you bring the curiosity. And the other is to notice what Amit was pointing to a little bit. Is the curiosity getting too narrow? And can you soften to the whole body? Kind of stay centered in the body also as you listen, as you work with sounds. And can you release and relax the body as you listen? That can also be interesting. It might be that you pay more attention to the space between the sounds than to the sounds themselves, something that brings spaciousness and openness. And, of course, tuning into the kindness in the gentle curiosity of the compassion towards that layer of negativity that's coloring the perception. So holding that, sometimes the acceptance and the allowance, like we were doing yesterday, can be really helpful. It's like this now. There is negativity. It's not necessarily my job right now, or what I'm trying to do to change that. Yeah. But actually to attend to it well. So there's this layer. Can I just tune into that and attend to that with just like an acknowledgement? It's like this now, and then with compassion. Yeah. This is not what I would choose for a human heart mind to feel, and yet here it is. And what happens when I hold that in tenderness? And I see there's a follow up there. Yeah. Okay, so it's like a comment from Caroline that's a little bit of response and kind of I think aligns quite a bit with what I was just saying. Noticing when that is there, like you have done Inez very beautifully, and then bringing kindness, compassion to that, or to oneself as experiencing that, yeah, and really tuning into that. And the last thing I'll say is maybe sometimes it's can be also helpful, and I hope it's not going to be too confusing, to also tune in as you're listening to the sounds. The space will do some of that, yeah, to the spaciousness, or to even the uh, just the light well-being that's there in the process of hearing. Actually, in any process of paying attention, of attentiveness, in that itself, in the knowing and attending, there is a degree of well-being that's available. So it might be that we tune into that in the hearing, or to pleasant sounds. All of those might also be helpful. But I think maybe the last thing to say is really acknowledge and appreciate yourself for noticing and for being interested in bringing change to that, in bringing transformation to that. So yeah, thank you for that, for those questions and the reflections. And yeah, may there be peace. Maybe if there's no more questions, we can just take a moment and dedicate our practice. And if you wish, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna offer my dedication, what I'm dedicating the fruit of the practice to, for myself. But feel free to do that for yourself. You can also share that in the chat. You know, what or whom you wish to offer this practice to and to support in the world. Yeah. And so Kevin has already beautifully put in that wish, that dedication for peace. And I will add, yeah, peace and may the veils of ignorance, that are at the root of the suffering in our world, may they be removed. And may people see clearly that all beings deserve to be treated with respect and kindness. And may our practice nourish the seeds of peace and of justice for all beings everywhere, the human and the non-human. Those that are near to us and close to us, and those that are unknown to us or far from us or different to us. Thank you, everyone. Go well, and I will see you tomorrow.